Hello and welcome to another class online. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Danika and we're here at My Own Yoga Studio. This class today, it's special, dedicated to mothers as it is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, whether you've got your children, your dogs, your birds, your partners, anything you are looking after, you are amazing and thank you for everything that you do. So for this class, we want it to be quite rejuvenating and refreshing and relaxing for our mothers. So let's allow ourselves to kind of wind down here and begin our practice on the mat. For this one, I have put the very edge of my mat up towards the wall, and I recommend you do the same. I do have a blanket here and blocks as props, always optional. You don't have to use them, but they will be handy if you would like. So we're going to begin this practice in legs up the wall pose. So exactly as it sounds, we are going to lie back and put our legs right up against the wall. For this one, you can use the blanket underneath your sacrum and just to give yourself a little bit of support there. So as we go back, bring your hips towards the wall, legs out in front. And it's never graceful, but this is usually the easiest way to come into the pose. You will lie down on your back, and as you lean, let the legs sway up towards the wall. Now you can do a little bit of shimmying here, getting into the place that is most comfortable for you. And just find a place alongside your body, or even one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Take this time here to feel yourself settled. Feel the parts of your body that are connected into the mat. The parts that root and ground you. The parts that give yourself this strong base. The parts that support you in this pose. Allow yourself to connect to your breath. And try to feel where the breath is traveling in your body. Does it go straight to the chest and the ribs? Do they expand out through the sides? Do you feel your abdomen moving up and down? And try to send your breath into the belly, really involving your entire breathing cavity. So allow on your inhale, your diaphragm moves toward your pelvic floor, allowing a full breath to enter through the upper body, and on your exhale, fully release, feeling that diaphragm come up towards your thoracic cavity. That full exhalation, followed by a new rejuvenating inhale. In your own time here, let's start to allow our legs to awaken. Wiggle through the toes, maybe bend through the knees, roll at the ankles. If your hands are still on your belly and on your heart, release them down alongside your body and start to walk your legs out to the side. We come into this wide leg pose, gravity doing the work here for us. Trying not to resist any of the stretch. If you'd like any support, you're welcome to use your blocks underneath your thighs. Breathing into the inner hips, into the inner legs. And feel free at any time throughout this practice to press pause on the video and hold these poses for even longer. They're great poses, letting the blood flow down the legs. Just reversing the body, something we don't always often do. And you're always more than welcome to come into a little bit of a frog pose, bending the knees, letting still the legs be wide. And I may then start to walk my feet back in towards one another, bringing the knees out to the sides for a bound angle. Again, just letting the inner hips open up. If you'd like to use your hands, you can press gently on your thighs. Maybe you feel a little bit of lengthening even through the low spine. And we'll bring the knees in towards center. Start to straighten that left leg up the leg, or up the other, and we'll bring the outside edge of that right ankle onto our left thigh for a figure 4. That left foot can slide down the wall, bringing that right foot in closer towards you. Try to remain strong through that ankle joint. And now as that right foot draws in, your right knee can gently move towards a wall. So whether that's an active attempt on yourself, recruiting the right muscles, or whether that's a little support from your right hand, maybe pushing very gently that knee towards a wall. Just allow yourself to remain soft through all your facial muscles, your eyes, your jawline. There's a connection between the jaw and our hips, any tightness that holds in each place. So see if, as we work through the hips, you could also soften through the jaw. When you're ready, we're going to take this left foot and walk it over towards the left side. Eventually, we'll be rolling onto our left side body. And the left foot can still remain against the wall, just closer to the floor, while that right foot may come down to the mat. And you can work that knee again towards the wall. Feel a nice stretch through that outer right side. If you need to shimmy away from the wall, that's perfectly fine. Give yourself the right amount of space. And then let's gently bring ourselves right back up through to center. Uncrossing that leg, we're going to switch sides. So the right leg will extend up the wall, the left outer edge of the ankle comes onto that right thigh. Bending that right leg as much as we need until we feel that comfortable stretch through the left side. Left knee presses away from you. If you like, you can bring your hands to your temples, using your ring finger, nice and gentle, just making those small circles. Help soften through the face. You can always do this on the outside of the jaw as well, right where the hinges are. Releasing the hands off the side again, pushing away from the wall. Give yourself the space. Left foot can come down towards the floor. Whether it touches or not, it's okay. Let that left knee work itself again away from your upper body. Breathing into the full side. And let's take one more full breath here. Into the nose, down through the chest, into the belly, and a full exhalation out. Beautiful. From here, gently letting go through the legs. If you can right uncross. If you need to, roll onto your back body a little bit and then cross the legs. We are going to fully roll over, coming into a puppy pose. So for puppy pose, we do like to have the hips right over top of the knees, and you'll walk the hands out. Sinking the chest down and through, your eyes can look toward the top of the mat or down into the mat. From our puppy pose, lift up, coming into our tabletop, tuck the toes under, find your downward facing dog. In downward dog, we're going to lift our left leg up towards the ceiling here first, and place your foot against the wall. So walk your hands forward, find the right distance for that left leg to be straight. You can look back towards your toes. Make sure they're pointing toward the mat. Try to drop that left hip slightly and let that right hip lift so that truly the hips are just level and square. Now that right heel, see if you can descend it down toward the mat. Really working into the back of the legs and stretching through the hamstrings. Feel strong through your arms. Good, let's drop that left leg down then and switch sides. Let the left heel descend while the right leg lifts. Toes point down toward the mat. Square through the hips. Drop that right side. Lift that left side if you can.
Push through the arms still. And breathe into the space that needs it most. Last breath here. Good. We'll drop that right foot down to the mat. Look to your hands. Start to walk your feet forward. And at the top of your mat, let yourself hang here for a moment. Head fully heavy. Upper body just droops. Fully released over the legs. Now coming up to a standing pose, we're going to gently roll up through the spine. Letting your arms dangle, push down through your feet into the mat, bending the knees. Feel the tailbone tuck under, and then vertebrae by vertebrae, you're lifting up, stacking the spine. Shoulders eventually stack right over the hips, head lifts, and we stand tall. Take a moment here, breathe in and out. Good. From here, let's bring the arms right up overhead, connecting the palms and exhaling hands through heart center. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, right arm drops down, pulling that elbow back. Really open the chest. Inhale, your left arm lifts. Exhale, bending at the elbow, dropping it back. Good. We'll do both arms at the same time. Inhale. And exhale, bending through the elbows, pulling them back, chest wide and open. Good. Bring the hands right behind your low back, interlacing the fingers. Now you can bend through the knees quite generously as you fold forward and let the hands lift toward the ceiling. And bringing the hands then back down to your low back, lifting up, standing tall, and releasing the arms down by your side. Take that breath in and out. Beautiful. We are going to bring our blocks to the top of the mat if we have them. Stepping back with your right leg. Let's let the toes of the back foot turn slightly out so that we can root through the outer edge of the foot. And then we'll bring our arms forward and square the body towards the top of your mat. Belly pulls in, long through the spine. Exhale, bringing your hands down onto the blocks. If you aren't using the blocks, you can bring hands down to the floor on fingertips. You might also keep hands on your hips. Breathing into that hamstring again. Good. From here, we're going to be stepping onto that front foot. So let's step, lifting that back leg. Now, if you can, use again that wall to support you. Toes can face down towards the floor to begin. Again, feeling that the hips are square and level. And then take your time to open the hip, tucking that left glute under, right hip stacks on top, and finding the difference between closed and open hips. We'll allow ourselves to hold here, nice long opening through the side body. Maybe we can come into our lifted version, bit of a challenging balance pose, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. You can take your gaze toward the side or up towards your fingertips. Feeling strong in that standing leg, supported by that left hand and supported by the wall. Let's bring that hand back down to our block. Turn the toes down. Now, can we bring that right knee in towards us? Bend the standing leg. Find your balance. Come up and through. That knee lifts up in front. Good. Engage that left glute. Exhale, hands down to your hips. And then inhale, extend that right leg. Feel that thigh fire up. Inhale, can you lift a little higher? And then exhale, dropping it down. Good. Switching sides. We're going to step that left leg back, turning the toes out, ground the outer edge of the foot. Again, inhale, arms reach up forward. Hips are square to the top of our mat. Exhale as you fold forward. Decide where you want your hands. Dropping them down, maybe to hips, blocks, or floor. Breathe into that right hamstring. Pull that right hip back, left hip forward. Good. From here, again, we're going to step onto that front leg, lifting our left leg high. Toes are down toward the floor. Position yourself so that you can hit that wall if you would like to use it. Feel that the spine is long, lengthen through the body. And then take your time to open that hip. Toes turning toward the left side. Right glute tucks under. Left hip on top. Breathe into the side body. Transition your weight into that right hand. Left hand can reach toward the ceiling as your ribs spiral open to the left side. Last breath. Beautiful. Bringing that hand right back down to the floor. Again, bending both knees. Left knee hugs in. Bend that right standing leg. Bring yourself up and through. And on an exhale, hands down to your hips. Good. Inhale, extend that left leg. Pull the belly in. Allow yourself to lean slightly forward if you feel like you're going back. Keep everything stacked. Inhale, lift that leg higher. And exhale, dropping it down. Good. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. Wonderful. Take a deep breath in, arms sweeping up overhead. And exhale, hands will come back down alongside your body. One more time, transition your weight now into that left leg. Right foot comes up towards your glute. Grab hold of the ankle. Now we're looking for a stretch through the thigh. So you may stay here. You may also, like dancer's pose, really extending and pressing that foot up into your hand. Maybe that left arm reaches forward. Stay in any version of the pose that suits you today. So I feel quite tight through my thigh. So I am just going to hold here. And then I'll release down, switching sides. Weight transitions into that right leg. Left heel comes up toward the glute. Reaching the right arm high, pulling that heel towards the glute, pulling the belly in. Again, up to you if you'd like to extend a little further, pressing that foot up and back into your hand, maybe tipping forward. Wonderful. Releasing down. Give the legs a shake. Beautiful. Walk the legs out wide. Turn the toes out off of your mat, and dropping the hips down, we'll come into our low squat. Block can always go underneath your sits bones, give you that support. And then bringing the hands down. One hand can come behind you, or in any fashion, making your way down into a Sukhasana, legs crossed. We'll take a moment here just to allow ourselves to fold forward, dropping the head heavy. Feel yourself through the back of the hips into the glutes. And then inhale to come up. We'll switch sides, get that other leg wrapped around, and folding forward. And sitting back up. Making sure yourself that you are comfortable. Take this moment to find a very quiet seat. If you would like a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly again, reconnect to your breath. Thank yourself for taking some time to move your body, to give yourself some love and attention. That nurturing, that caring self of yours can be directed toward yourself as well, just as much as it is directed to others. And when you're ready, feel free to bring your palms together. Maybe drawing the thumbs toward your third eye. Thank you for joining me in this practice, and from the light in me to the light in you. Namaste.